The Les5150 Podcast begins now.
What is up, you maniacs? Welcome back to another episode. This actually would be episode number 8. So welcome back. I hope everybody's had a great week. It's Friday. We are into September, the second day in September. It's actually September 2nd, 2016. Man, this year is just flying by. It just seemed like the other day the kids got out of school for the summer, and now they're back in. We're already into September. Things are just kicking off and going crazy. And the fall weather made an appearance today. Low here was 61, a high of 73, which I know that's not going to last long. It's going to jump back up into the 90s and be humid and miserable for a couple more weeks before we actually kind of start cooling out around here. But anyway, what else is kicking off? Well, there's a lot of things kicking off this weekend and next week. Let's just get right into things. Right now, let's talk about Samsung. Note 7 came out, about 2 weeks ago, I believe. Big recall from Samsung. They want everybody to turn those Galaxy Note 7s back in. They can exchange their device over a battery flaw. Apparently, the batteries are exploding. It's not safe, man. I know a lot of you, hey, you know what? I actually thought about getting the phone. That kind of just really changed my mind real quick. Just nope. We'll see what the new iPhone's going to do. But I suggest if you have one, man, exchange it, because you don't want, you may be that guy or girl going, oh, there's nothing wrong with mine, but you don't want it, to be sitting there one night and boom, it happens. I hope not. I hope it don't. But if you do have one, just take it back. They'll exchange it, and you'll probably be able to get a new Note 7 when they relaunch them. They actually stopped the sales of them, so they're not selling them anymore at all right now. They've halted sales of them, from what I've been reading. So if you have one, man, take it back. It says, in addition, affected customers will be receiving either a $25 gift card or a bill credit from select carriers after exchanging the device for a new one. So just take it back to wherever you got it from, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, whoever. I'm sure I'm leaving out some carriers there. Those are the top ones I can think of right off the top of my head. So just take it back, man. You get a credit, you'll get a card or a gift card or something, and they'll definitely, I'm almost positive, they'll hook you up with a new phone. So anyway, let's continue right on cell phones. What else happens in September? Well, usually kicking off in September, Apple always has a huge announcement. And that's coming up. It's actually next week, I believe. Yeah. No, wait. Is it next week? Yes. September 7th. Apple will be announcing the new iPhone and whatever other devices. I'm sure the new iPad, the new Mac, all that good stuff. They'll be announcing next week on September 7th at their big conference they have this time every year. It's a pretty big one too, man. From what I've been reading and understanding. Seems like they got something up their sleeve here. That's next Wednesday, by the way. 7th is next Wednesday. I'm kind of excited to see what they're going to call the new iPhone. Some people are saying we'll call it the 7. Some people are saying they're going to call it the iPhone 6 SE or something like that. I don't know. I've seen some of the mock-ups for it. I'm an Apple phone guy. I love the iPhone. I love Macs. I love iPads. And it's not because I think they're better. It's just what I'm used to. I've been using them for so many years. And look, I just said I was thinking about getting the Note 7. And then when they came out with that, I'm like, yeah, I'll wait. And I am beta testing the iOS 10 right now. And it's pretty cool. I dig it, man. It's actually a totally different phone with this new iOS 10. And that's one thing I like about Apple is over the years, their iOS for their phones has went from if you look back at the very first one, kind of boring to, it's actually kind of exciting now. This digital messages and stuff, man, that you can do, and it's just so much you can do. I could sit here for an hour and talk about just a few features, and I could probably do like a 3-hour podcast talking about all the features I love on iOS 10. So it's pretty cool, man. Well, I guess some of the things they're talking about changing is they're moving the headphone jack, apparently, Bluetooth, and they're going to have a way to listen to headphones through the lightning jack. It'll have an adapter. I'm sure it'll probably be, you'll plug your headphones in before everybody freaks out. Check it out. I'm almost positive you'll take your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, you'll plug it into an adapter, and it plugs into the lightning jack on the iPhone. So everybody's like, oh no, they're removing the headphone jack. No, they're just kind of like condensing things. A lot of companies do that now. It saves money and allows more features for the consumer, which is us. So, just chill out, man. I'm sure the adapter will be included with the iPhone. And if it's not, it'll probably be cheap, man. So don't sweat it. It's all good. I guess it's going to have a dual camera on the back as well. And they're going to get rid of some of those lines on the back, the antenna lines. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. But apparently, I've been reading more and more into this. And they said, now listen, this is a big deal, this phone coming out that we're going to be talking about on the 7th. What's even bigger is the phone for next year. The 10th anniversary edition. I believe that's what it is, the 10th anniversary edition of the iPhone. And I'm like, whoa. Man, don't do that to me, Apple. Why do you do that to me? I've had this phone for 2 years. I believe it's 2 years, the iPhone 6 Plus. I love it. I mean, it's starting to show its age. The battery doesn't last as long, but it's expected. I mean, it's done its job. I have no complaints. I enjoy the phone. It's, I love movies and music. Of course, guys watch me on Twitch or YouTube or whatever you watch me on. You should know I love movies and music, and this is perfect. And especially doing the podcast and the YouTube channel and the Twitch, all this is it works so well doing it on a Mac. Honestly, it really does. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have a PC right here I'm looking at, reading my notes on, but I do all my recording on a Mac because it's so easy to load it up to iTunes, get it up to SoundCloud, and YouTube. It's just like, bam, it's there, and wow, it's done. So it's ease of access for me. I like it. Simple to use. But anyway, let's talk about what else is kicking off this weekend. And everybody contain yourself for this next college football kicked off today. It's Friday. College football kicked off. Oh, man. My team plays Monday night. We play Ole Miss Monday night. Florida State Seminoles. I'm a Florida State fan. We're looking like we got a pretty decent team this year. Let's look at the scores. Let's look at some of the games going on. We'll just start off the top 25. That's the games we'll talk about. Those are the ones that a lot of people care about. I know that a lot of you guys probably like some of your teams maybe not be in the top 25. And it's not that I don't care about it. I'm just, for time's sake, look at the top 25. Let's go down the list. We got Baylor at Northwestern, Kansas State at Stanford, Furman at Michigan State, Appalachian State at Tennessee, Charlotte at Louisville, Hawaii at Michigan, Bowling Green playing Ohio State, Oklahoma versus Houston, Rutgers versus Washington, Southeastern Louisiana versus Oklahoma State, Miami versus Iowa, UCLA versus Texas A&M, LSU versus Wisconsin, UC Davis playing Oregon, Georgia versus North Carolina. We got USC versus the number one team in the nation, Alabama. South Dakota State versus TCU. Clemson versus Auburn. Clemson ranked number 2 in the nation right now. And then Sunday, we got Notre Dame versus Texas. And Monday night's game, September 5th, number 11, Ole Miss versus number 4, Florida State. And that game is on ESPN. Ought to be a good game. All these games ought to be good games. I'm sitting here going through the schedule, and I don't see any games that I'm not looking forward to. I mean, all these games look like they'd be worth watching. I don't see any games. Well, there's a couple. I mean, there's a couple of games. Like Michigan State versus Furman. I think I'm looking at the score right now. That one's over, 28-13, so I missed that one. At halftime, Kansas State 3, Stanford 17. By the time you guys listen to this podcast, most of these games will be over. Baylor just demolished. Well, they are demolishing Northwestern 55-7. So, I mean, didn't miss much there. Tennessee, Appalachian State 20-13. Apparently, that game went in overtime. That game was September 1st yesterday. Louisville had a little fun with Charlotte. 70-14. How in the world do you allow your team to get beat up that bad? There's got to be a point. It looks like they scored 28 in the first, 28 in the second, and 7 in the third and the fourth. Man, there's got to be a point in the game where you tell I don't know what I would tell my team. Like, man, hey, wow, you think this game's gotten out of hand or what? I don't know. I'm sure I don't know what I'd say. But anyway, college football's here. It's underway. Labor Day weekend. It's going to be a blast, man. Anybody got any big plans? I do. And I'll tell you what they are. The plans, Saturday morning, September 3rd, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, over on twitch.tv/Les5150EVH. It's the Extreme Stream. We're kicking off the Extreme Stream for the fall. What that means is I'm going to stream my normal time, my 4-hour slot, starting at 12 p.m. You guys can control the stream. You can make me go as long as you want. You guys can, my follows, resubs, subs, donations, whatever. Keep adding time to my stream time. The last time we did something like this, we went 30-something hours I streamed. I was tired. But anyway, so Extreme Stream is kicking off tomorrow. Also, new shirts for the fall kicking off. We got regular old t-shirts and we got sweatshirts. Because, it's going to start getting colder for some of you guys up north. It's going to start getting a little chillier. You can go ahead and get one of those Les5150 sweatshirts. You can go over to teespring.com/Les5150. Check out the shirts. 4 different colors: white, black, gray, and charcoal. So good looking. I love charcoal. I like the charcoal sweatshirt. I'm a sweatshirt guy. I like wearing sweatshirts. Sweatshirt charcoal gray one looks good, if I say so myself. So anyway, I hope everybody has a safe Labor Day. And if I don't see you at the Extreme Stream, I hope I see you soon. And if you're new here, welcome to the Les5150 Network. We are everywhere. We're on iTunes. We're on Soundcloud. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch. I might even be on wanted posters. I know, I'm just kidding. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. This has been episode number 8. If I said 7 at the beginning of the podcast, just smack me. This is episode number 8. Thank you so much for listening. We'll catch you next time. Enjoy your Labor Day. And I hope your football team wins. By the way, the Gators are playing this weekend too. I forgot them as well. I just want to throw that in there. You guys have a great one. We'll see you next podcast Monday. Till then, we'll see you. Bye-bye.